The Trump administration has been subjecting thousands of people arrested during its immigration crackdown to mandatory detention. And on Wednesday, U.S. District Judge Sunshine Sykes in Riverside, California, vacated the decision by the Board of Immigration Appeals after finding the administration had failed to comply with her earlier order declaring unlawful the underlying policy of denying detainees the chance to seek release on bond. Federal immigration law does prescribe mandatory detention for those who arrive at a port of entry at the border making application for admission to the United States. And while their cases proceed in immigration courts, they are ineligible for bond hearings. However, bucking a long-standing interpretation of that law, the DHS last year, I think it was September, as part of Donald Trump's immigration crackdown, took the position that non-citizens already residing in the United States, and not only those at a port of entry, qualify as applicants for admission. So in other words, non-citizens already living in the United States would also be ineligible for bond hearings, although that's not how that law has been applied in the past. It was a stretch of the law, which is typical for this administration. There are two articles out I read this evening on this, and one is out of The Hill, and the original was out of Reuters from yesterday. It's entitled U.S. Judge Throws Out Immigration Board's Ruling Endorsing Trump Mass Detention Policy. It's by Nate Raymond, and it was published February 18th at 8:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. U.S. District Judge Sunshine Sykes threw out Wednesday an administrative board's decision endorsing the Trump administration's policy of subjecting thousands of people arrested during its immigration crackdown to mandatory detention, those already residing here. Sunshine Sykes, the judge out of Riverside, California, vacated the decision by the Board of Immigration Appeals after finding the administration had failed to comply with her earlier order in December declaring unlawful the underlying policy of denying detainees the chance to seek release on bond. And because Judge Sykes' ruling was a class action lawsuit, it covered migrants nationwide, and it's more sweeping than the decisions by hundreds of other U.S. judges holding the policy as unlawful and ordering detainees to be freed or given bond hearings. Judge Sykes wrote in her opinion, respondents have far crossed boundaries of constitutional conduct. Judge Sykes does not believe the DHS's rhetoric that they are targeting the worst of the worst.